Okay, and welcome to day 4 of our Nurse Entrepreneurship Challenge, or Come Feel the Sun Nurse Entrepreneurship Challenge. I appreciate all of you tuning in. I'm going to give you a few minutes to go ahead and tune in. Let me double check some things and making sure everything's going all right. So, first thing I'm going to check is looks like, yep, we're doing pretty good on. Yep, looks like we're doing pretty good on LinkedIn from what I'm seeing. And then we're going to go ahead and double check and see how we're doing on Facebook. I always like to check the feed just to make sure that things are going well. I want to make sure that you're seeing and hearing things okay. So if you're not, let me know. Give me a notification. But I think we're doing well. All right. Yep, we're live. So thanks for joining us, joining me today. I'm so excited. So day 4. So day 4, we're going to talk about um, your branding and your marketing. And this is an area where a lot of people struggle with, a lot of nurses struggle with, is the idea of branding and marketing. And I know that I struggled with this area as well, to the point that I hired a branding coach, and he's very good, excellent. I've worked with him on 3 different occasions because he's just that good. I would encourage you to do that. If you need some additional help, find somebody to help you out. There's things that maybe you don't see, maybe you don't know, that they can help you just get a better feed for this. But we're going to talk about it. And so let me go ahead and present and share my screen. So I have to go through this thing. Yes, there it is. Perfect. Where it's showing things that I want you to see. All right, so let's get started from the very beginning. This is day 4 of our Come Feel the Sun Nurse Entrepreneurship Challenge for 2025. I'm so excited. And again, what a great way to kick off the new year, right? All right. So let me start us off. Okay, so marketing and branding for nurse entrepreneurs, building a compelling presence and reaching your audience. So why is marketing and branding, why does it matter? Because we have to establish that. And a lot of times people don't think, well, I could just put it out there. I've got my product. It's great. It's wonderful. It's going to fly off the shelf. But if you don't brand it correctly, if you don't market correctly, it's going to be hard for people to find you. So this is the foundation for your business success. So marketing drives awareness and attracts customers to your business. So how do you market? One of the things that I struggled with initially was just being able to get up and give a 2-minute speech or a 60-second elevator pitch about what I do. And sometimes I still struggle with that because I have to know the audience in which I'm speaking. So when someone asks me, well, what do you do? My first question is, well, what are you most interested in? Tell me about you, and then I can answer that question more fully, because then I can know what it is that I want to highlight for you, because I do different things. Are you coming to see me as a nurse practitioner? So are you wanting to make an appointment at my office? Are you coming to talk to me as a legal nurse consultant? Are you wanting to see me as the nurse shark? What is it that you're coming to see me for? And so when I know the audience and who I'm talking to, that helps me in determining how I plan to market and say what it is that I do. Okay. So your marketing drives awareness and attracts customers to your business. I think of some of the great companies out there that you're probably very familiar with. One of them happens to be Charmin. Now I'm dating myself, right? But you thinking Charmin, the toilet paper. And I remember growing up and watching this commercial, and they would always say, please don't squeeze the Charmin, right? Because the Charmin was so soft and not rough like those other papers. It's the idea of Charmin is that it's a luxury brand that makes you feel comfortable, right, to use. So Charmin is kind of like the soft toilet paper brand that everybody has a go-to, right? Or when Pepsi was really pushing their market. I remember that you used to have the Pepsi challenge where you would be in the supermarket and you had to take a sip of Coke and a sip of Pepsi and you had to decide which one was the best, right? That was a Pepsi challenge. And then you would have, came back with the slogan, Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. I remember all of those things. This is marketing that drives awareness and attracts customers to your business. And then one of the great marketing companies and strategies that I see is from Red Bull. I love how Red Bull does things because you'll see their logo and they'll have people doing like um, skiing and jumping off cliffs and all of this stuff, and then they'll just say Red Bull gives you wings, right? Because the idea is that it's giving you a particular lifestyle by enjoying their product. And so that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. So when you're talking about your business, your brand, what does it say? Your branding builds trust and emotional connections with your audience. Um, Another one that's really good, especially around Christmas time, they like to put these um, uh, commercials out, the SPAC or whatever they're called. Anyway, the people that are really promoting um, animals and wanting you to donate to take care of animals and pay for shelters and get them rehoused and the loving families. And they put these pictures of these really sad puppies and kitty cats, and it tugs at your heartstring. And so it makes you want to donate because they're saying, hey, we care about these animals and you should too. Why not help us take care of them? You may not be able to take them into your home, but you can partner with us, right? And so, by the way, I'm not a brand ambassador for any of these companies I'm talking about. I'm just giving you examples of things that we see when we're talking about branding. So, what is it that you're going to do if you're going to brand your business? Well, if you're going to have a home care business, what was one of the things that sold a lot of those um, senior alert bracelets and necklaces? It was, hey, I've fallen and I can't get up, right? We remember those things. We make memes about them. But we connect that with, hey, this is going to keep grandma safe, right? Is that she can hit a button and get help right away. And again, I'm not endorsing any of these products. I'm just saying that these are great examples of marketing and branding. And so you need to know who you're talking to and who you're talking about. And so together they create that memorable and impactful presence. So, for example, if you're working as a nurse consultant and you use professional branding to establish credibility in the healthcare industry. So, take a look at what you're doing as far as your brand. And one of the things that I've noticed for people, when let's say you're doing a home care agency, you want to show grandma being safe. You don't want to show grandma on the floor, right? Because that's a fear-based approach, and that may not work well if you're promoting that your company is caring and tender and loving, and then you got grandma on the floor. That might not work out very well, but you may show grandma thriving. You may show grandma being able to, cook a meal with her home health aide. You may show grandma getting the care that she needs or helping grandma get into her wheelchair. You see what I'm saying? So it depends on what message you want to send. If you're going to sell bracelets and necklaces in case grandma fall, of course that makes sense. But if you're going to sell that your home care is safe, then you want to show grandma in an environment where she's safe. If that makes sense to you, let me know. Okay. All right. So let's talk about defining your brand. What makes your business unique? Because a lot of times when I talk to new business owners and nurses who are thinking about building a business, I say, what makes your business different from everybody else's business? Because if you want to open a home care, you want to open a hospice, you want to open a staffing agency, there are a plethora of agencies out there. And they've been doing it for quite a while. So what makes you different from everybody else so that you can stand out from the crowd? So this goes back to day one. So if you haven't joined us, you need to go back to day one and look at this, because we're going to talk about your core values. And I told you every day builds on the other. So your core values, what principles guide your business decisions? So for example, Your core values could be compassion, integrity, and excellence. I can tell you, let me see if I have it up here. One of the companies I'm with, they have what they call the 10 core commitments. Of the 10 core commitments, one is you start each day the right way. That is your mindset. That's one of our core commitments as part of our company, is starting your day the right way. Other core commitments include you want to stay connected to the community. So, what is it, those principles that guide your business decisions, right? Is it compassion? Is it integrity? Is it excellence? Is it safety? Is it the fact that you are present? You're there, 24/7. You're always available. I love the way, we always talk about the postal service, and the postal service is supposed to be, come rain, snow, sunshine, they're supposed to be at their job, right? That was their logo for the longest. That was their motto. And you have to decide what core values you have that's going to guide your business decisions. And anytime you feel like you're not quite on the right path, go back to your core values and your principles and find out where you've gone wrong. That's why we talk about in the he, we, me model, there are 12 core principles for kingdom nursing. And we integrate those things into the businesses that we build, those 12 core principles. So then your target audience, who are you serving and what are their needs? So when you're talking about your brand, you want to speak to them. It's not talking about this is I'm wonderful and this is what I can do. What you're going to say is, I understand your pain and this is how I can help, and make it about them. So, for example, nurses seeking entrepreneurial mentorship. Okay. So is it about how can I help serve you so that you can get your business built with a firm foundation without the hassle of having to figure it out on your own, and without the worry that you haven't gotten things in the right order, in the right sequence. So that you don't have that frustration of having to start over again, rebuild, redo the things that you've done, and you can make sure that you're ready to grow. That's speaking to your who. Your brand personality, what is the tone and style reflecting your business? So you want to be like professional yet approachable. And that's one of the reasons why I chose the Nurse Shark, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. And then your visual identity. You want to have consistency in your logos, colors, and design elements. And if you have not noticed that, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later, you'll see some consistency that I've had over the marketing and the branding that I've done specifically for the Nurse Shark Academy and Baxter Professional Services. I make sure that the messaging is cohesive. And when I wasn't sure, when I felt like we were just, a little bit frenetic in what we're doing, I worked with my branding coach to say, hey, let's take a look at this again. Let's look at this again and make sure that what I'm doing is a consistent message so that you understand where we're coming from, what we're doing, and that everything flows. So even from the colors that we chose. And so when I worked with my graphic designer for the logo, I spoke with him and I said, I want to make sure that we meet certain elements. So we'll talk about that in a moment. So some visuals, you want to look at some examples. So I want you to go ahead and look at some of your competitors, see what you like about their website, see what you like about their offering, how they word things, how they brand things. Take a look at that and see what you like and don't like. See what resonates with you. Look at some people that are outside of what you're doing and see how they're marketing and how they're branding. And then compare it and see how you feel. So this is a little video that I did, and I'm going to go ahead and stop this right here. Stop the share. And let's see if I can do that. Yeah, so I'm going to stop this share because I want to show it to you. I'm going to show you this little video here. So stop screen. There we go. All right. So I'm going to add this to our presentation because I forgot about this video. So I'm going to add this to our presentation real quick. I want to show you this video. This is my very first marketing video for the Nurse Shark Academy. it was very interesting for me to actually work with someone and get this done. Um, and for our first attempt, I was kind of proud of it, so I want to share it with you. If I could find it quickly enough. Um, Let me see here. Where did I put it? Sorry, I would have had this brought up, but I forgot to load this one up. Um, Maybe it's under here. Ah, here it is. Let me see here. Okay, so instead of showing you this one, I'm going to show you the one that I did for Baxter Professional Services because I can't find the other one. So this is our very first video, by the way. Very, very first video ever. Which was kind of interesting. This is me and my husband shooting for the legal nurse consulting part of our business.
Baxter with Baxter Professional Services. I'm the business solution advisor and also a benefits specialist.
And my name is Tina Baxter, and I am the CEO and legal nurse consultant at Baxter Professional Services. At Baxter Professional Services, we pride ourselves on providing excellent care and service to all of our clients. Some of the pain points that we have heard from our attorney clients when hiring an expert witness have included turnaround time too long. You call an expert and they never call you back, or you're waiting for a report and your report is late. Too many hassles. You try to call an expert witness and they're hard to locate. Their schedules are very busy and they're hard for you to coordinate with their schedule. And also hidden costs. You get a bill in the mail, it's a shock after having a discussion with the expert. At Baxter Professional Services, we take out those barriers. At Baxter Professional Services, we recognize that the standards of care change over time, and we keep abreast of those changes. We utilize our 7-step process so that we can improve your chances of your recovery with your case. We use our 7-step process so that we can improve your chances of winning your case. Contact us at the link below. We look forward to working with you at Baxter Professional Services. At Baxter Professional Services, we're proven, principled, and poised. And so I wanted to show that to you. This was our very first video that we've ever shot. As you can see, we did have someone do this for us. It was. I was very nervous. You know, we took it several takes, but this was our way of showing our branding, and we have the tagline of proven, principled, and poised as our Baxter Professional Services, the legal nurse consulting side. And so I wanted to share that with you. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to sharing my screen. And okay, we'll go back to sharing the screen. All right, and for some reason, okay, we'll go back to our slideshow. Hi, I'm Tina Baxter with the Nurse Shark Academy by Baxter Professional. Okay. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and go to our next slide. Okay, and so here, so with the Nurse Shark Academy, this is how I came up with our name and our logo. According to the Oxford Dictionary, a shark is an expert in a specified field, hence the nurse shark, an expert in nursing. So the Nurse Shark Academy is focused on building up nurse entrepreneurs and supporting small business. So Then I developed our mission and vision statement. And you're going to ask me, why am I talking about my branding and what I've done? It's because one, I've worked with an expert, and two, I don't have permission to show everybody else's stuff. So I want to make sure that I show my own stuff, so that I don't worry about showing any things from any clients or anything like that without their permission. So that is a reason why. So, but my mission, my vision is for the nurses to reclaim the love that they have for their profession. I saw that over time there were so many nurses that were getting out of the profession and leaving the profession. And I thought, you don't have to leave the profession of nursing. You can still be a nurse, you just do it differently. And then my mission is for you to own your seat at the table of nurse entrepreneurship, gaining the confidence, skills, and the freedom to live your life on your own terms. You'll dream big and you'll expand your consciousness as an entrepreneur. And that's my mission and vision for the Nurse Shark Academy. So when you're creating your marketing strategy, you want to reach your ideal clients. So set those goals. Define clear objectives, such as increasing website traffic or growing your email list. So an example could be gain 100 new email subscribers in 30 days. How do you do those things? Because I know people are going to ask those questions. Well, how do you do that? Well, maybe you offer a lead magnet. A lead magnet is something that you give, like a download, which I have available for you all if you want, is our lead magnet. And one of those things is you can pick up our um, business starter. There are 10 steps, the business starter. So I'll go ahead and drop that link into chat again, but that is available to you. So you can go over to the nurse-shark-academy.biz and download those things. I also have free videos for you to see. I have our roadmap to success download. So there's a lot of different things that are available for you that you can pick up as a subscriber, and you can just download it for free. And that's how you gain people's emails. You want to choose what channels you're going to focus on, what platforms where your audience is active. So, for example, if you're looking for a younger demographic, you may be on Instagram or TikTok. But if you're looking for more professional connections, you may look at LinkedIn or Alignable. So I happened to start out, everything was on Facebook, and some of you are watching us on the Facebook page that we had, and that's where I started. I started out on Facebook with an active Facebook group, and I would run my challenges through the Facebook group. But then Meta changed some of their policies, and so it's streaming to the page now. And so a lot of people grew their businesses through their Facebook or Instagram platform. What I noticed that over time is that my audience actually shifted, and they were growing more on LinkedIn, and which is why I'm live streaming to LinkedIn, is because I have more of an audience on LinkedIn now. And so this is where you look and see where you're performing better, where you're getting better traction, and you move to those platforms. It could be that another one of your channels is, putting out videos on YouTube. That could be another way of doing that, and that's one of the options that we have as well. So you want to craft your message. You want to develop content that speaks directly to your audience's needs. So, for example, how to balance nursing and business ownership. Actually, that would be a great topic and might end up being one of my blog posts. And so you want to craft those messages so that it speaks to your audience. So I see a lot of different content creators who put things out there. And I would like to say, creators that fall into different camps. So you have those that are more the comedic side. They're taking those really serious issues in nursing, but they're adding some comedy to it to bring out those things that we face. I see others that are hitting it hard with just, hey, this is not where we want to be in nursing, and we need to support other nurses. And they're sounding the alarm on things that are happening. And that's fine too. And then we have other nurses that are doing something kind of in the middle of that. And so you see that. So they're speaking to their audience, and there's an audience for all of them. And they may not be the same audience, right? So you need to know who is your who, which is why we worked on that. So that when you craft your message, it's directed towards your who. And then you measure your success by using your analytics to track your engagement and adjust your strategies as you go along. And that's where I discovered, hey, I was getting a lot more traction on LinkedIn than I was on Facebook. And so I was using that to change some of my strategies. Now, I haven't abandoned my old groups? No. But I also noticed that I was getting more traction in other places. So where am I going to spend my marketing dollars? The other thing is that when you look at your analytics, they'll often give you reports. So for my podcast, I get reports every month of how many downloads I've had and where the people are coming from and what channels that they're using. And so that's very important for me to know where to focus my energy. So when you're developing these goals, we've talked about it. I wanted to share it so that everybody knows you want to have those SMART goals. It's important that they're specific. So please, when you're writing your goals and your strategy for your marketing, make it very specific. I will have 5 social media posts out each week, right? The social media posts will be posted by Fridays, right? However you do it, right? So make it very specific. It needs to be measurable. Okay, so you need to be able to go back and say, okay, I want to have 5 social media posts and have comments or interactions, and I want to interact 3 times with each post. So then you can be measure how many times you interacted. You can keep track of that. It has to be attainable. Do you have the time and the bandwidth to do that for yourself, or would you like to outsource that to someone else who can write your social media posts for you? So, is it relevant? Is it relevant to what you're doing? Are your social media posts going to be about your business and how you help people? What's the goal of these social media posts? Because we can put anything out there if we want to, but it may not be on brand, it may not be targeted to our who. So, where are you putting this and what channel are you using and why? And then it has again be time oriented. You need to be very specific about when you're going to meet those goals, right? So with your social media marketing, again, you want to choose the right platform. And I say just start with one. If you're not big on social media, start with one to really focus on, learn the logistics, learn of how to adjust for the algorithm and all those different things that you do, right? And then expand to other social media platforms. I started out on Facebook. I grew from Facebook to Twitter, now X. I went from X to Instagram. And I was always on LinkedIn, but at that time LinkedIn for me was just a digital resume, and I learned a lot more functions. So I added these over time. I didn't do all of them all at once. So choose the right one for your audience. And a lot of people are growing their businesses on TikTok, and that seems to work out well for them. So choose what works best for you. Look at the content types. So I'm encouraging you, one of your parts of your homework tonight is to go on, look at some of the nurses out there that are giving information, doing a type of posts, and see what type of posts they're having. So they could be educational posts, such as, 5 tips for nurse entrepreneurs, right? Or they could be testimonials or success stories. Or they could be engaging videos and live sessions. So maybe they're talking about one particular issue, and they're sharing how they overcame that, or they're telling you stories about their involvement with a patient, obviously without violating HIPAA, hopefully. So see what type of videos that you like and are engaged in. And I'm not saying copy these people. Please don't copy word for word. That is like a big no-no. But look at how their style, and then be yourself in making your own videos. And then engagement. Interact with followers by responding to comments and messages. So, for example, a nurse hosting a live Q&A on starting a CPR training business. If you're going to have a training, then go ahead and ask, open up for live Q&A. One of the things that I'm in a Facebook group on diabetes, and I'm the resident nurse on call on certain nights, and I'll engage and answer questions about diabetes and give general information and education. And so that's some of the things that I do. I educate people on how to manage their diabetes and their health. So the other thing is that, when you're having these posts and people are responding, respond back to them. Or if you see a post that you like, engage with it and interact with the original poster so that maybe, you can develop a dialogue, and then that also shoots up your credibility as well. Build your brand online, establishing a strong digital presence. The other thing is your professional website. You want to make sure that you showcase your services, mission, and expertise. So, for example, you can put a blog post on there offering tips for nurse entrepreneurs, if that's your niche. Or you could put a blog post on the top 5 ways to negotiate your salary, the top 5 ways to you know, encourage your patient, I don't know, to eat broccoli, whatever it is you want to do, right? And then email marketing is building that list and nurturing the leads with regular newsletters. So you can send out a newsletter that says weekly business tips for nurses. Right? And so, what is it that you can do to establish your brand and let people know that hey, I'm here without being intrusive, without feeling salesy? You can add that information out there and be available for people to consume. And you never know. I happen to be a guest on a podcast, and I can't remember the exact podcast I was on, which one, but someone came to me and said, "Hey, I saw you on this podcast. I need your help. I need to hire an expert for legal nurse consulting. And I saw your episode and I want to talk to you." This can happen. So make sure that you're doing these things to further your brand. And then we talk about search engine optimization. So you want to improve your visibility by optimizing keywords. So, for example, using nurse entrepreneurship in blog titles and content, if that's what your content is about. If your content is about patient safety, you want to make sure you put those keywords in: patient safety, patient advocacy, etc. Does that make sense? I hope you're following me here. All right. So let's take a look. I want to show you my website again because I have permission to use my own stuff, right? I give myself permission to share my stuff with you. All right. So this is my website. I had this professionally. No, this is the one I did. This is my website. This is the one I did. I was able to put it together. Yay me, right? This is for our health education. What I want to show you here is that across the top, we have the homepage, which kind of explains who we are, what we do, the services that we have, the classes that are available. We have an about page so you know about me and the other instructors, any news that's coming up. And so this is where our newsletter will now go. Contact information, shop. This is where we put items that you might want to get. So for our students, we have their manuals are available here. Any online programs we have groups that are associated with our educational classes, like our CNA class. So they have their own forum where they can go in and ask questions. They can help each other out. They can do a lot of things in these groups. So that's available to them. This is all built in on our website. And you can see that here's our logo. So we have colors in blue and kind of a purplish color. And so if you look through the website, you'll see a lot of those colors that are flowing through. So that's for that website. This is the one I had professionally built for the legal nurse consulting website. So this one, I had a gentleman, thank you, Jason Westover, for doing this for me. We sat down together, and because, again, the logo is blue and all that, you see a lot of those colors are being pulled through into this website. You'll see that, we have the Lady of Justice here because this is talking about legal nurse consulting, and we want to make sure that we show you that we're serious about your business. This is the Nurse Shark Academy page. You can see it's a little brighter in color. We have nurses doing a variety of different things. You also have your welcome, your home page, your services, our Pathway to Freedom program, a place for you to sign up for anything. So it's right here on top for you to see. We got the Nurse Shark Academy here. Again, so these are things that you can get, and there's groups available. The podcast is here. The blog is here. The things that I want to highlight are at the top of the page so you can go directly to it as quickly as possible. So again, when you're looking at your website, you want to make sure that all the stuff that you did to talk about your branding and your vision statement and all those things are readily available and accessible on your website. Okay. So networking and partnerships, expanding your reach. This is something that I had to learn. Um, I was very shy. I still am a lot of times, but I continue to work on that. I'm very shy. And so when I go in and meet new people, I often will sit off by myself. And so what I had to do was learn to go in, walk into the room, and walk up to someone and start a conversation. The easiest way to do that is to walk in and say, "Hi, my name is so and so. What is your name and what do you do?" And then let them talk. And usually people are more than happy to talk about themselves once you give them an invitation to do so. So you want to collaborate with others, partner with healthcare organizations or fellow entrepreneurs. And so one of the things I did is I sought out those that were doing the things that I wanted to do. I purposely went to a networking group. One of them was called um, Indie Women, and I ended up doing a program called Advancing Indie Women, which was the inaugural program, and it took a cohort of about, I think it was like 75 of us, and we went through these leadership exercises and training, and I was with my cohort, and it was an awesome experience. I love being a part of that, and so I was part of the inaugural class for that. And so I encourage you to find something or some organization or some way to partner with someone else to learn about what they do. So, for example, you might team up with a hospital for CPR instructor training sessions. So maybe you can approach a hospital if you have never been a CPR instructor and say, "Hey, can I watch some of your classes? Can I help facilitate some of your classes just so I feel comfortable and learning how to do that?" Attend events, build relationships at conferences and workshops. If you go to a conference and they have an outing or a networking event, go, show up. You never know who you're going to meet. Your next business partner, your next customer, your next client could be sitting right next to you and you don't know. And it could be that just starting to build those relationships, later on, they may refer business to you. So show up to those events, go to the networking events, and make it your goal to talk to at least 3 people and find out what they do, exchange business cards, exchange phone numbers, make a follow-up appointment with them to talk to them after the conference, just so you can continue that relationship. This is all about building relationships. So you could speak at a healthcare expo about nurse entrepreneurship. You could do something like if you're opening up a home care agency and they have an event in your local community where the focus is on senior services, get a booth, attend the event, meet the other exhibitors and talk to them about their services. Maybe you could refer clients back and forth because there might be a client that walks into your door that needs a service that you don't provide, but you know who does. And that helps build relationships. And then join online communities, engage in Facebook groups or LinkedIn forums. So one of the big things is I did, and shout out to Jerry Lynn, is I joined the 1 Million Women Link Up LinkedIn initiative, where we're trying to get 1 million women in business to link together and cross promote and help each other, build each other up. So I think that's awesome. I've joined a lot of different Facebook groups. I was in a training and a challenge with someone, and they said, "I want you to join a Facebook group that has nothing to do with business, but something that you're interested in." So I joined my very first Facebook group that had nothing to do with business, that's on a topic I was interested in. It happened to be Buffy the Vampire Slayer because I was in the middle of a rewatch during that time. And I said, okay, I'm going to find a Buffy the Vampire Slayer Facebook group and I'm going to join. And that's what I did. And that led to me joining a whole lot of other groups and finding a group of people that I have in common just this one thing. And we began to talk and develop relationships and share till we got on Zooms together. It's been very nice to have someone that I can talk to about some of the stuff I geek out about that my husband's eyes roll in the back of his head about. And so it's nice to have fellow people that I can talk about and have in-depth discussions about stuff that has nothing to do with business, but has everything to do with learning how to talk to people and establish relationships. All right. So you want to be consistent again, keeping your message clear and cohesive, using the same logos, the colors, the messaging across all platforms. And this is one of the reasons why you see coming up in some of my videos, I talk about come feel the sun, because that's that feeling I want you to get when you are walking into your office, your business, or you sit down at your desk and you just feel that all is right with the world and that the sun is shining. I don't care what it looks like. It's kind of gloomy outside. It's wintertime. But you feel that you have that experience of feeling the sun. Maintain a consistent posting schedule to build trust and recognition. And this is one of the things that I work on is I want to make sure, hey, I said I was going to show up at 12. I try to be here at 12. I said I'm going to do a live show every week at 5 p.m. I'm on the show live every week about 5-ish. Okay. I try my best to be there at 5, but occasionally life happens. Or like, for instance, we just had the holidays and my show actually fell on holidays. So there's no show, but I let you know ahead of time. Hey, it's the holidays. We're taking a couple weeks off. It's been great. But be consistent. The podcast goes out. I'm consistent when I release it at the same time every other week. Podcast goes out. Even if I have to come in Sunday evening and get it edited, I'm going to make sure it's done. Or what I did the last time is I did 2 at a time. That way I can, because of the holidays, it was already out. Regularly update your materials to reflect your evolving brand. And this is, again, something we neglect to do, which is why when you're making your business plan, you want to go back and update your business plan. It's a living, breathing document. Again, not some dusty document you stick in a drawer, but you update it regularly. And so also you want to update your material. So one of the things that I did is I updated the materials that I have for the health education and for the Nurse Shark Academy. I want to make sure that we keep things fresh. And so an example, a nurse consultancy's consistent branding across their website, email campaigns, and social media. So let's take a look at some things. So I want to stop the share here because I'm going to show you 2 of my most recent commercials. And I want you to notice something about that. So I need to stop sharing here at the moment so that I can bring these up. So I'm going to go ahead. So this is the first one. And I loved this one. This was my idea. I was working with my branding coach, and I know he doesn't particularly care for this one. He thinks it's kind of cheesy, but that's what makes it so great for me, is I love the idea of it. So I love it. Nurses, are you burnt out, frustrated, looking for something new? Are you looking for more? Nurses, are you ready to feel the sun? You will dream big and expand your consciousness as an entrepreneur. Your nursing license is your key to freedom. Join the Nurse Shark Academy at the nursesharkacademy.biz today. And so I made that one, and I really loved it because first of all, the whole idea of feeling the sun, I wanted you to feel that and have that. You look at some of the pictures, the woman looks happy, the nurse is smiling. So we started with nurses that were feeling tired and they were feeling burnt out. And now we're looking at nurses and they're happy and they're out there feeling the sun. That's the feeling I want you to have. And so that was one of my very first videos with that logo. And then let me show you this last one, because this is one you probably saw because you got here on this. Attention nurses, are you ready to step into your power and transform your career? Introducing the 5-day Nurse Entrepreneurship Challenge, your fast track to building the business of your dreams. In just 1 hour a day, you'll learn how to find your niche, build a business plan, market like a pro, and launch your dream business with confidence. This challenge is for nurses who are ready to make a change, take action, and create a life of freedom and impact. That's December 30th, 2024 through January 3rd, 2025, 12 p.m. Eastern. Register at the nursesharkacademy.biz. Your dream business is waiting. So I wanted you to see that because, again, we have the come feel the sun, bringing you in, knowing what we're talking about. You see nurse and the boss here. And so you see a nurse that's transitioning from in scrubs to a business suit. This is what I wanted to show you. And then always the branding with the logo, the Nurse Shark Academy. And so I show this to you because these are things that you can do and build yourself and have this as part of your branding. However you want to do your social media, this is what you can do. So I'm just giving you some examples here. So I'll go ahead and take that down, and let's go back to the PowerPoint. There we go. Okay. And we'll go on from here. So as you can see, this is one of the things that I did, uh, just to keep you ready, and you can see it a little bit better here versus the boss. I just love this, and so this is something I just created myself. Did it on Canva and used Chat GPT and some things. And this is where you got some of those images here. Just me playing around with it, just trying to figure out how to do things. But I want to say, this is don't let another day go by wondering what if. Take the step toward the life and career you deserve. And so that's the message that I wanted to speak to nurses, that you don't have to, again, leave your profession. You can leave your job, but you don't have to leave your profession. Okay. So, your marketing and branding plan. This is your homework for today. You want to draft a brief mission statement for your brand. You want to identify your top 2 marketing channels and explain why they fit your audience. Sketch ideas for social media posts that reflects your brand. So, for example, you can do like a worksheet template with prompts for attendees to fill in. You can figure out what you can do, what kind of ideas you may have. Okay. And then building a brand that reflects your passion. Your marketing and branding defines how the world sees your business. Make it impactful, authentic, and uniquely yours. Start applying these strategies today and share your progress. So go ahead and share and let us know where you are. So tomorrow is our last day. This is our day 5 agenda on our branding and marketing. And so we're going to talk about preparing your business for launch, managing your business post launch, your basics of legal and financial compliance, and then scaling your business. So I'm excited about those things. And so we have that available to you. And that'll be day 5. So that'll be our final day, but we have some things that are happening. So again, your next steps, hey, join us in the Nurse Shark Academy. You can join in our 60-day micro mastermind intensive. So there are some of you that are like, you know what? I just need a little extra help. I'm ready to go. That micro mastermind intensive is the perfect thing that I need to get started. You can still get in for $297. Again, there's only 10 slots available for that, but you could go ahead and get in for that as well. You can become a member the Nurse Shark Academy, and then we'll put in the masterclass video training with our 6 sessions that talk about exploring your why. We're going to go more in depth into these things, working it out, which means getting your business ready to go, powering up, and then we're going to wrap it all up. That's usually a $497. You also get a copy of the ebook guide. We have the bonuses, the legal pitfalls to avoid in small business course. We have the using social media to grow your business course as well that we're offering. You have the freedom finance workshop as well. And then we have coming up, which I didn't announce, but I'm going to announce, we do have coming up our online legal nurse consulting basics course is actually starting on Saturday. So you can get into that course and training as well. So that is available for you as well. So if you become a member, you automatically can get enrolled into that course. So you can join us. Again, this is a $2,000 value, over $2,000, or you can pay the one-time cost. All right. And so you can do 2 payments or 3 payments of $297, or you can do the $1,800 altogether. So that's for you. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. And I want to thank you for coming in and joining us. So, again, that's available. I'm excited. Day 5 starts tomorrow. Don't forget your homework for tonight. I'm also going to leave the website so that you can sign up for the Nurse Shark Academy. So let me put it in the chat. I'd be happy to entertain any questions if anybody had questions. But I'm going to go ahead and let me go ahead and leave you the link, and I'll put this in the notes. All right. Those of you that are VIP, see you in the VIP in just a moment. All right. Bye bye for now. See you at day 5. Don't forget to sign up. Don't forget to register. See you for day 5.